Mic test. Testing the mic. Mic test. Mic test. Testing the mic. Latency test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe about 3 seconds on it. About 3.5. Not too bad. Is this thing still coming up as unlisted? Let me refresh that. Looks like it's going. Streambot's here. Seems like everything's in working order. Let's pop on in, you know. Yeah, a little azure blue to launch the night off. Very nice. Everything seems okay. Checking it over here on my left monitor over there. Seems okay. This may be a better track than I'm Okay by Avila. Anyhow, welcome. Hope everybody's doing all right out there, whether you caught this in the moment or after the fact. Tonight, my stress is collapsing in on me and I can't get nothing done without putting my nose to the grindstone. And the stress is making me stay up. So tonight we're going to do a little sculpting. I'm working on this here mini diorama for Locust Labs Glorious Victory painting competition. And I'm so close to being done with this and ready to send this repose and customization over to the 3D printers. So I thought I'd dive in tonight and go ahead and do a little After Dark Insomnia stream. Been a while since I've done one of these, so this one's really for the folks who want to catch it after the day. So I'm going to get some quiet work done, listen to music, chat about the state of the channel, and see if YouTube wants to push this out to anybody in this weird-ass hour. The short should be going live right now, too. And if anyone catches that, it'll say, Country Fried Minis is live right now. So that should be all right. But without further ado, I'm gonna get to work. Okay, so last we were mucking about with this as per the shorts. I was working on the base here. See if I still have the original master for the rocks. Yeah, there we go. So here's the original master of the rocks back here. And we can hide that and we can hide these. So where we were sitting at before this stage here. So we got this slope. I was gonna do a nice sharp edge diorama here. And I filled out these rocks. They were a little more sparse before we got to this stage, but these are now, they've been beefed up, they've been sculpted down a little bit, with the intention to have them hold these mechs in position. Now, we're still clipping a little bit right now on the inside, but I think what we're gonna do is do a Boolean and get those in position. And then we'll come in and do a remesh before we release this thing to the printer. So last thing we did that, we added these like bubbly bits on the ends here, which still haven't, they didn't boolean proper, so I'm not too happy about that. We're gonna have to clean that up, but you know, honestly, I think that'll just get fixed in the remesh anyways. And we had 2 holes here, so these sections right here, these 2 little rocks, were these big long plugs coming down in the middle. Watch out, I just saw Joanna heading to the Clan Wolf retirement home. I think she just might be going for seconds. No way she'd go for more. How does she meet her end? I'm pretty sure it's not even a note. Joanna Sarna. I'm pretty sure it's just like, you have to extrapolate and assume she died as Salama. Right? Here, let's set this to dark mode and pop this over here. Yeah, 36.9 Joanna and Horse apparently saw action on Marshall in the Kerensky cluster, though not in battle mix. Exact opponents they fought, blah blah blah. Common in clan tradition to use aged warriors as cannon fodder in battle, using them as unarmored infantry with little chance of survival. That's so stupid. Why would they do that? I'll never understand, tell you the truth. It makes no sense to me. That just seems like kind of the antithesis of clan thinking. Aren't they supposed to be like anti-waste? What's our citation for this? Face in the viewport? What the fuck is face in the viewport? What the hell is face in the viewport? Face in the viewport. Battletech. Short story. It's a short story. Horse has become Salama. That's a goddamn mosquito, dude. Oh no, I caught it and it got away too. I opened my hand up to crush it and it took off. Yay, I love mosquitoes. I don't quite get how a culture created by old warriors that abhor waste treats their old warriors like trash and waste. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm getting at. Makes no sense. Yeah, but Joanna's only mentioned in this. I should probably just read this. Evidently it was inked by Jim Nelson. 25 years of art and fiction. I wonder if I have that. Anyhow. What we're getting at. So we're popping back in here. We're going to use our fly controls and move around. So before I got started in the last bit today, we kind of had this thing going on here. And now we've added our lower rocks. We've added a little bit of base texture here. This was a pain in the butt to make. I really need to figure out how to work with that. I need like a brush to do this kind of thing again instead of the really clunky way I did it. But we actually we built this oval cutter and we got rid of the original base and we cut out the rocks to that same cutter. So let's get rid of the oval cutter here and we can actually hide these for now. Let's hide those. And then we've got this, where's my base oval? Yeah, here we go. So we got all these rocks and then we've got the lower the clutter around the rock formation and the base texture. So I'm not going to do this on stream here because there's so much vertices here that need to get smashed together. but we're gonna take these rocks and remesh those and then boolean them into these rocks. Everything gets boolean together, and then we're gonna do a slice and get a nice clean edge. Oh god, the computer is not happy. And everything below here will also get cut off. Jihad era, yeah, it'll be a literal mention, no doubt. I hear those source books are infamous for lines upon lines of, oh yeah, insert beloved unit character here, it gets absolutely wasted. Yeah, it's a shame. So the Jihad, I feel like probably nuke or virus bomb. Yeah, it makes sense. So what happened with Jihad? Is it like they just shifted gears and then had new writers doing stuff, and they just abandoned some of the old fiction? That's what I have to assume, at least. Uh-oh. Okay. I hit the save button on this and it was not happy. Anyhow, the intention of tonight's stream, and I'm probably only going to go for about an hour, at least until I finish this drink and find myself sleepy enough to go to bed. The intention tonight is to work on the cockpit here, so we can actually get rid of a whole bunch of extraneous stuff here. Let's hide all that. Let's hide the parts of the Thor. I don't think they had many writers. Was it not early Fan Pro? They had source books. It sounds right. I don't know how, like, what would be the best way to search that. Era books. It says, the AI overview at least, I don't know how much I'd trust this, says that the Battletech Jihad is unique because FASA stopped printing traditional full-length novels right before that. Most lore is told through source books and novellas and anthologies. So, oh yeah, they started doing the Hotspots books. So you want Dawn of the Jihad, and then Hotspots 70, 72, 76, and Terra, and then Final Reckoning. And then it looks like there's only a few. A few novellas. Embers of War is maybe a good one. And then you've got some Battlecore anthology. It's terrible that it's just so underrepresented. God, my computer does not like this scene anymore. It's getting big. Fawcett stopped at 36. He said, that sounds right. And you know, honestly, that's probably to me like why the universe kind of ends in my mind after the Civil War. Okay. So back at hand here, I think what we're gonna do, let's drop a save state. This scene is really, really unhappy. I think what we want to do here is we're going to pop in a cube maybe. You know what? It's a cylinder. It makes more sense. Let's get our cylinder. Boom. And I think what we're gonna do is cut out the cockpit, and then we'll remesh it and make it a lot more dense polygon-wise. And then we'll start just cutting into it with the sculpting tools. And I think that'll be the way. So we're gonna pop in a cylinder, and then we're gonna size it about right. And then try to get the angle lined up. And this isn't going to be perfect, but we'll get it as close as we can. And you know, I wonder if there's anywhere that's like just a nice solid ring around this damn thing. Let's inspect this in edit mode and get inside. See what we can't do with it. Is there something in here we can work with? A stray opinion I heard in favor of the Jihad is it's the only era where basically every faction fights every other faction. If you want to battle between any two houses, it can easily happen. Yeah, I really dig it, actually. I think it would make for some really fun, gameplay, honestly. I think it'd be super awesome. Alright, let's see. How do we get this going on right? So, I think we can maybe... Dude, what is going on? I'm gonna pop open Task Manager really quick. I think Blender is actually killing my computer. Yeah, I'm getting the little busy symbol trying to launch Task Manager. This is crazy. This is crazy. My computer just locked up trying to launch Task Manager. What's going on here? OBS is eating 10% of CPU. That's not too bad. I don't see anything really eating stuff. No network consumption. It's just... I had a crash earlier. I had a runtime exception when I was doing the stuff I talked about in the short. I'm wondering if it's just a memory issue. Also, sorry about the flashbang. Okay, so I think what we can do here is we can get... Holy shit, look at that mess. Jesus, Locust Labs, what the fuck is this mess? Wow, that must just be the side effect of a bunch of Boolean stuff, and there's no need to really clean it up. Golly. That's fucking bonkers. So, holy shit, what a fucking mess. Let's hide these flames for now. Wow, wow, wowie, wow, wow. Alright, so what I want to do here is I just want to get a nice flat surface upon which we can snap our upon which we can snap our damn holy shit, dude, this is hurting me. This is hurting me to look at. Jesus. God, I can't even think. That's so bad. How do we do this? How do we do this? I think we pull our cylinder out. God, this... Please, computer, you gotta, like, actually be able to do this. Maybe we bring this thing out and we do some snapping. Let's try some... Let's do face snapping and turn that on. And we'll set this to tweak mode. Let's see if we can't... Yeah, I really want that rotation to align to that, though. That's crazy. This is the best we're gonna get here. Let's just try to... We'll push this thing inside and then just try to line it up as best we can. Basically, all I'm trying to do, I want to cut the cockpit out and get a nice circular cutout, and then we're going to remesh it and get a super high density mesh version of it, so we can sculpt on it, and then we'll remesh it and bring the number of polygons back down. But I kind of need to get this thing very very close to the alignment here, and I was hoping I could just slap this cylinder on it and it would sit nice and flush. but I really don't know how to make that work, unfortunately. Let's pop that open. See if we can't rotate this boy down. All right. I think we'll just shrink this way, way down like that. Redeems a cream. Oh, I actually could get your input on the redeem cream, Mr. Kotex. I was thinking of doing
the cream of the crop, and there is no one that does it better.
Adding in a, come on. Dude, is this gonna lock up every few seconds? This is crazy. I want to add a snap into a Slim Jim ad as a random permutation of the Macho Man Randy Savage. I don't know if that sounds fun to you. Alright, so we get that. Chow. Is Windows doing stuff? No, I think I had a weird crash earlier, and I really should have restarted my computer afterwards instead of just trying to keep rolling. That could be fun. Yeah, I was thinking so too. All right, I think that's pretty even. Let's push this in and see. It's a little bit misaligned by just a few degrees, I think. If we take a little extra time here, it'll just be a little cleaner. There we go. Okay, I think that's good enough. And what we can do, we'll bring this thing up and kind of get it in the middle. And we're gonna... Oh, it just hit me. This isn't even the right fucking alignment. Oh my god. That was all a waste of time. That was all a big fucking waste of time. I'm a dum-dum. Yeah, I'm just dumb. Because that's the wrong angle. Holy moly. It needs to be more like that anyways. Yay! Well, now we can see how bad our angle was off. That little... I'm waiting on it to respond. Holy shit. I think this file is just way too big, thanks to some of the objects I have in here being like really gargantuan at this point. I gotta do some remeshing stuff. Okay, so that's probably way too big. Let's slide this inside right there. And basically, all I want to do, I want to get that front head, that cockpit zone. I really don't want to hit these side pieces. And I guess I really don't need this thing on the bottom. So that's probably fine there. We just want that head. Because all the damage is going to be right there in the cockpit. Very directly in the cockpit. So I've got it in X-ray view so we can see what we're doing. And then let's lengthen it just a tiny bit. And now what we can do, we can come in here and we're going to rename this cylinder to Dire Wolf Damaged Head. And we're going to pop on a Boolean and we're going to do the intersection between this and the torso. And it needs to be hole tolerant. Is that not working? That didn't seem like it. Yeah, it didn't work. Oh, there we go. Okay, running the manifold style. That'll do it. That'll do. That'll do. Let's pop that on there. And we're gonna hide this boy right there. Sick. There we go. Okay, so we got our head, and we're gonna edit this in place. But I do want to remove a few of the extraneous details, I think. So let's bring back in our jets and make sure we're getting it where it's getting hit. Okay. I think we could maybe get rid of some of this down here. Damn, it sucks. We're gonna have to do so much lining up right here. Let's try to get rid of all these sensors. I really don't want any of this. Let's just get rid of those. Pow. Ooh. Let's get rid of all of this right here. We don't need that. Boom, get out of here. And then just do the same right here. Get rid of all that. And then we'll start cleaning up all this gobbledygook. Boom, get rid of that. Get rid of this. Boom, pow. Boom, pow, boom, boom, pow, boom. And oh man, I've made such a mess of this. I probably could have got away with a smaller section of the cockpit, and I think we're actually gonna Control Z back to that. Let's go back. Back. I've buffered in a whole bunch of extra stuff here anyways. Okay. Boom, back it up. A little further. Okay. We can probably shrink this thing down. And we're going to use this little flat blue thing so that we're only shrinking it into 2 dimensions. And I think that's going to be more than enough right there. Nope. I don't want to drag it. I want to size it. Boom. A little bit bigger. A little bit bigger yet. I just want to avoid hitting this section at the bottom. Streaming at night. Yeah, man. I hit that Insomnia. Want to get a little work done. Honestly, it's really just it's more for posterity than anything else. I think at this point, I really want to get this stuff. Same-Tooth's got a headache. Oh, that's the worst, dude. Absolutely the worst. Not a fan of the old headache. Alright, so I think this thing should be good. Let's run the Boolean. Let's add it's going to be the intersection, and we're going to do manifold, and we're going to pop it on that. Bam. Yeah. And so we should end up with this nice little cutout. And I think we can even like manipulate this a little bit to see what we're getting. Let's shrink that a little bit, because we need one flames here. I'll turn them on. Actually, we got the flames coming in here and there, so we actually only need this section right here, and I think that's more than enough. And if we can avoid capturing this lip right here and then all this crap down here, this stuff here, then it's probably a cleaner Boolean. Cleanier. Okay. Let's try shrinking it down inside of all that. Yeah, I think that's going to be more than enough. Yeah. Okay, so from here, we're going to take our Boolean, we're going to apply our intersection, and now we should have this nice clean head to play with. Yes, there we go. It's going to have some weird like slices when we put it back together, but that's fine. I really don't give a shit at this point. We'll get it good and cleaned up. Because now what we're going to do, drop a save state and wait on the computer. This file, my computer does not like this file. I've got a lot of geometry in here. You're going to take this bad boy and we're going to fucking remesh that. But we're going to remesh it in like really intensely small voxels. Let's start with a point. Oh wait, no, not 0.2, 0.02. That's not enough. So we're going to go even smaller to the limits. 0.1. I don't know if that's going to work. Let's try to cut that in half again and see if we can do 0.5. 0.05. That is maybe enough fidelity. Like, I don't think these voxels are going to be bad enough to create a problem. And that should give us enough to play with. Let's try to go even smaller. Let's do half of that again. Boom. Okay. Now we've got nice and sharp fidelity, and if we get really close in on it, we can see that even our sharp lines are made up a bunch of voxels. We do have this weird shit happening on the edges, but that's fine because at the scale we're printing this out, it's gonna be perfectly acceptable. So let's run that remesh. All right, now we can just start going to town here with our sculpting mode. And I think we can we see decently here? Not really. This might be more visible if we change our viewport to just a nice matte cap with random colors. How close are those? They're really close, aren't they? Shit fire. What if we change this name to A? It's a little different. What's Z look like if we change the name to Z? Purple? Is purple enough contrast? I think so. Okay. All right, so I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna pop in and we're gonna use our I don't know if we're using blob or we're gonna use clay. Let's try and start with blob, and we're gonna switch this to negative mode, and I think we'll get our size to about where it was at. It's fine. And let's just see what starts happening here. Just gonna start pushing this in. Okay, we can go bigger. Oops, redo. Come on now. Let's rename that to Z. Okay, I think we want this a little bigger. Bam. And we're just gonna push this in at first. Just start coming in here and giving that a little bit of love, pushing it inwards. Gonna make a cavity, kind of. give that a little bit of love. We're gonna come in, let's smooth it. No, I think we maybe even need to scrape it. Yeah, let's scrape that in. And then any of the geometry being fucky here is fine. We'll fix it later. We'll fix it in post. We maybe need to smooth this boy right here. We got some weird intersection happening. We may have to deal with that, but that's fine for now. We'll do the same right here. Let's just shoop-de-whoop-de. Give that a little bit of love. Making sure to come off the mouse every now and then. It's just like working with clay, which I rather love. Alright, so get that going on there. Now I think what we can maybe do here is pop into our clay and make sure that we're going negative with our clay strips. And that should let us like actually remove material here. So basically what I'm going for is we're gonna set this up. I'm gonna set this thing up to be a nice believable cavity, and then we're gonna add like a whole bunch of drip physics coming out of it, flame shooting up out of it, and some drip physics. All right, so let's pop in here. That's funny. Did this crash out? That's so funny. Pachow. Alright, so I think what we're gonna do now is we're gonna pop over to our, we're gonna use a draw sharp tool, and we're gonna come in on this glass and make some really sharp cracks in it. In fact, I think that's way too big even. Let's go down to like half of that. Yeah. Boom. Just like sculpting with traditional tools. And I think what we're going for is like really intensely cracked up. Just a whole bunch of cracks into it. I do this every now and then. I think the last time I've sculpted like this was cracked pavement. It's kind of what we're going for here. And like, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're going for a thing, an idea here. We'll refine it as we go. Just freeform, just relaxing, fucking putting some cracks in it. And I think we're not going to worry about detail on the inside because I want like molten metal and flames kind of shooting out of the thing. And these, again, this is a miniature, you know, this is a tiny little 3D printed model. It's like maybe 40 millimeters tall. So like this detail really, if it looks a little rough here, it's because it's like way larger than life, and this will be fine once we print it out. Give it a little love. Give it a little love. I've really been enjoying mucking with these tools. It's been really liberating. Funny enough, I talk a lot in the Discord about how hitting the end of the workday and doing more work on stuff kind of sucks, but it's actually been really enjoyable experience to come in here and do a little extra at the end of the day, juggling the whole competition piece in addition to the work for the commissions between Fiverr and eBay. You know, there's always something going on. Just gonna deepen some of these cracks. And funny enough, some of this detail is gonna get really mushied up anyways once we remesh everything. So again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a lot like what I talk about with freehand. We're just selling the idea. And here we just want it really cracked up, really broken. Not one crack proliferating across it, but like a fuck ton of cracks, like really shattered glass here. Broken to bits even. We might even remove some of these panels. Or panels, some of these bits, and have like flames sitting out of it. Alright. And let's do the same up here across all of this. Just boom, let's pow, freeform that shit. We'll refine this. Bam. The roughness is fine right now. Nothing wrong with that. Bam. Selling the idea. This thing's gonna be like, you know, tiny. Tiny. So tiny. And we're going for like really shattered anyways. Alright. So we got the start on our glass. We'll fuck with that some more in a bit. Now, we got to work out what we want to do with these edges. And I think what we want to do is kind of carve out some of it over here. So we're going to go back to our clay tool, our clay strips tool. And we're going to start making these, start pushing these grooves into it. We'll mark these divot-y areas first. Boom. Big divot there, big divot there. One right across there. Have this one coming out right there. Bam. We're still doing this right here and there. Some here, some here. This whole area actually should be like really, boom. Let's come back down to about 40 px again. Still working in these, the like kind of guidelines for our break points. And we're gonna turn all these into like valleys where the armor has cracked and come apart. All right, I think it's time to maybe computer unhappy, computer very angry. All right, we're back in object mode. Let's drop a save state. Where are we sitting at right meow? Where are we sitting at right meow? There we go. Alright, so let's hide... Nope. We're going to hide the jets. This is a little bit of a problem. So I think we want to get rid of that. Oh, but no. Let's go back into... Let's go into sculpt mode. See if we can't push this whole thing in. I think it's maybe what we're going for here. So we can do our more aggressive play tool here. But honestly, I think this just has to go like... We might have to just like cut this stuff off. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna add in a... Let's add in a sphere. Let's get our sphere in there, and we're gonna use this to start cutting out holes here, I think. All right, let's roll it back. Roll it back, roll it back. Let's add a sphere, but give it more segments. I'm gonna give it 100 segments. Bam, like that. And now we'll put it in position. Yeah, give it 100 segments. And we'll use our sphere to start refining our holes, I think. Just some simple Boolean functions. Boom. Oh, everything's locked up. You done locking up on me, computer? You done locking up? Let's make that a little bigger. And we're gonna use this sphere to cut out all that extra stuff there. So let's generate a Boolean, bam. Let's do a difference between this and that. Computer unhappy, locking up again. Nope, that is wrong. That is wrong, wrong, wrong. Let's try that again with manifold options. My computer is so fucking mad at me right now. That looks right. Nope. That is not what I clicked on. That is not even close to what I clicked on, computer. Not even close to what I clicked on, brother. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I really should have restarted this computer when I was getting problems earlier. It is extremely unhappy at the moment, trying to fuck with this file. I suppose I could have loaded this thing in to a different scene as well. That's fine. That's fine. It's fine. It did what we wanted. We got rid of that bit right there. We got this little shit right here. Oh, it's locked up again. This is crazy. Alright, let's reselect our object. Let's go back into sculpt mode. Let's drop a save state. Alright, is it going to respond? Yes. Let's run a crease. And then we're going to come in here and turn these areas into creases. Boom. Ciao. There's our way too far out. Let's push some creases in. Let's crease that and this. Give that a nice crease, and this one, bam, chow. And then we'll pull our creases up here. Pow, chow, chow, boom, bam, pushing it in on itself. Okay. All right, now I think what we can do is start thumbing these out, maybe. Maybe thumb these out a little bit. So we do our thumb work and start just, it's maybe not aggressive enough. Let's increase the size. There we go. There we go. Let's thumb our clay out a little bit like that. Nope, too much. Get a little closer. We're gonna go a little bit organic with this anyways, because it's like, you know, it's meant to be flowy molten metal, you know? So we're gonna pull and stretch and bend this stuff as if it were made of metal. Now this little bit is super interesting. I think we maybe have to cut that out with our sphere again. So let's pop a save state real quick. Let that do its thing. Alright. And we're gonna bring in a new, let's add another UV sphere. Let's get another UV sphere in there. Which will be right here. Let's get it up in position. Zippy zap. Bam. Bam. I want to get rid of that sharp ridge right there. I think that thing is a problem. Zoom, zoom, bam. Let's get in there and let's try to resize this into like a nice little football shape that does what we want it to, but not too much extra. Like that. And we've got the orientation set to normal there, so we're able to, once we rotate it, the axis kind of goes alongside it. Okay, so we're gonna run another Boolean. Let's add a Boolean, boom. Let's do our difference to, I think we had to do that manifold last time, so let's run it to the sphere. Everything's gonna lock up for half a second. Computer is angry as heck. Boom. Seems like it's gonna work. Let's apply it. And then in theory, once this does all its calculations, we could delete this. Yeah, now we got rid of some of that crap. This is still a little problematic, but I think we can still work with that. Alright, let's come back in here into sculpt mode once more and see what we can't do about thickening those out. I think we can use our blob tool and set it as a negative blob. Yeah, there we go. Able to kind of smooth these out a little more, make them less pronounced divots. Boom, bam. That was, uh-oh, I just fat fingered something. I think I fat fingered F1. Okay. There we go. It did not, in fact, open the documentation, unless my Chrome did, which did not. Okay. And we're doing the same here. We're just gotta make sure we're zoomed in enough where our tools kind of doing what we want to, and we can see in here we've stretched our material kind of to its limit for the vertices inside. We got to be aware of that as we work. But honestly, even that's not really going to be a huge problem because we're still going to remesh this thing after all this is done before we print it. Let's boom. Let's refine these sharp divots into more rounded. Just using our various sculpting tools to get in here and have fun with it, you know? Get it looking alright. We'll have some flames coming out of this thing. We'll have some molten metal gobbets coming up around the edge. I think it's going to be awesome. Let's even move this thing around here. Setting ourselves up for some stuff here. Boom, bam. Play with it. You know, get it going. Smooth this shit out. Bam. Maybe a little bit right there and right here. Our glass is all cracked up. Let's pull back in our jump jets briefly and see what we're looking like. Dropping a save state. Everything's locking up. Alright, let's pull jet top and bottom. Yeah. Okay, so now I think we actually need like a I'm mostly okay with what we have going on here. Mostly. I think we need to do some more thumb tool stuff. But we need to fill this hole. Let's try our... I think thumb tool is probably good. Stream's current bitrate is higher than recommended bitrate. Bite me. Bite me, YouTube. Let's try thumbing this stuff up. Nope. Boom, boom, bow, bow, blow, blow. Blam, 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 blam. Really pushing this stuff up. You know, actually, I think we could probably use a little smoothing right here. Let's smooth these areas out. Smooth it out. Boom. Soften those a bit. Let's soften these, soften them all up, soften those up. Shoom, shoom, shoom. Now, boom, flatten those out a little bit. Smooth, all of that smoothed, smoothing. Shoop, get that smoothed out, nice and smooth, yes. Okay, so we got this like foundational, really fucked up metal. I'm still not 100% sure what we're gonna do with the glass, and I'm actually kind of leaning towards we could cave all this in here, and I think that's what we're gonna do. Let's go up in the strength. Let's cave all of this in right here. Shoom, get all of that inside. Bam, bam, bam. Boom, push all of that in. Push that all in. Bam, 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 bam. I think we're actually just gonna... Wait, that's like looping onto itself. We maybe need to come in with some Boolean shapes. Though, honestly... What I'm gonna do is put in like an explosion, like flames coming up out of this thing, and when we Boolean it all together, all this intersecting geometry down here will go away anyways. So let's use our negative clay tool and create cavities, some nice pronounced cavities where these glass segments are. And really push that in, get that clear division. So I'm gonna have an explosion coming up out of this thing, and we're gonna take some big shards of glass and just have them attached to it here and there. So we just need enough room here to get this edge. And then, you know what? I think we're even gonna, you know, we can leave this one panel. No. We're not leaving that panel. This is gonna be blowing out the side too. Yeah. That's gonna look sick. All right, let's just push this thing in. Now this would be the same as kind of using your Dremel tool, you know. Getting in here with a nice fine little bit and carving out these cockpit zones. No different than working with foam or clay. Alright. Let's try to get this tightened up a little more right here. Boom. Yeah, I'll get rid of that and then push it in right here as well. Bam. Shoop-de-whoop-de. And honestly, that texture is kind of nice. I might have to work with that. Okay, so from here, what we're gonna do, drop a nice little save state. And we're going to go back into object mode. And we're gonna add a new mesh, a UV sphere, and I need a lot of detail on this thing. But I think instead of doing a bunch of segments raw, what we'll do is we'll add this as a primitive, and then we're going to come in here and we're going to do a subdivision surface on it. That's what I'm thinking. Nice little subdivision surface. But for now, what we want to do, let's get our sphere in here. Boom. And kind of get our fireball properly sized. Shoop. I mean, that looks about right to me. And then we're gonna generate a subdivision surface, and the Catmull Clark is fine. Let's make it really intense and make it just like a really smooth sphere. Okay, boom, apply, and then we're gonna duplicate this thing and pull it down here, and we're gonna shrink it down so we have like a second fireball thing going on. Boom. Wow, like that. Yeah. And now we will Boolean these boys together, and everything's locked up. Just give it a second. Give it a second. Drop a save state. Yeah, it is unhappy. So I'm making sure to drop lots of save states as we work. So we're gonna Boolean this boy to the other one, and I think it's not gonna be happy, but it should be. Just let it cook. Oh, you know what? That went fine. Boom. Hell fucking yeah. Apply that bad boy. Let's delete sphere 001. We're gonna rename this to Explosion. And I'm gonna start like thumbing this thing out. That mosquito's back. He's over here, flitting out and about. Okay, so now I think let's hide these And we're going to start thumbing this thing around. Let's grab this. We're going to come into sculpt mode, and we can start with our clay tool. No, I think we'll start with our blob tool, and we're just going to start pushing in the center. Push this in here, down here as well. Let's get in here. Make sure this division is going in as well. Work a little bit at a time. Make sure we always have a spot we can Control Z back to. Like here, I'm starting to get these sharp edges. I really don't want those. So this would be the equivalent of taking my green stuff, and I've stuck it in the hole, and I'm pushing it in there first. Pushing it in there, pushing in there. Let's go to our scrape tool, our smooth tool, I suppose. And smooth it back out. Now see, we've gone too much here. We need to get back to where we created this problem. And we're going to smooth everything back out. Let's try to push this boy back in, and maybe we'll use our clay tool to push that in there. Nah, that's not really doing it, is it? Let's just try to run it across that sharp edge. Just make sure we don't end up with any like really bad creases as we do this. Otherwise, we're gonna have to fix it with other tools. In fact, let's just go up. Let's make our brush size bigger. Let's smush that in there. Let's come down here. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Bow, 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 bow. Let's blob that in there. Plow, 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 plow. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so now that we've got it in there, we can come out with the blob in a positive fashion and start making this into nice bubbly blasty bullshit. Little at a time, little at a time. Pull it out, push it around, get this thing going. Wow. This is Ingrid Witz if I had a tail. And you know what? If we do a good enough fireball coming out of this thing, we can maybe even skip the whole like molten metal. Though I think it could be fun to put around the edges. So keep inflating. Just give this some shape. It takes time, you know. Lots of pushing and refining. Let's blob this boy out here. I think we can zoom out some and I do a bigger inflation here. Boom, like that. I kind of want it like inflating out the bottom too. Boom. I really want it coming out of this lens right here. And then we want it kind of coming out and wrapping around right there. Boom. You can inflate all this again. Now, I do think we need to check real quick. Let's put our jets back in there. All right, okay. It's starting to do stuff. This needs inflated right there. Zoop. This needs inflated here. And here. And there. And all of that. But I do think we need to push in some of the stuff too, like over here. So let's drop a save state. Get that a-going. And we're going to come in with our negative brush again. And we need to get this underneath the edges of the glass here. Because I'm envisioning like a whole sheet of shattered cockpit glass coming out right here. I'll do the same right here. Push that in. Boom. But then we can also come in here and inflate just a little bit right there till we get a strip coming out. Get out of here. Let's lay some clay strips on top of this. I want some more material here. Let's do a zip like that. Bam. Hello, fellow Insomnians. Welcome, Mr. Square Peg. We're doing some sculpting work tonight, sir. This is really for me more than anything. Just getting some work done. Thought I'd record it for posterity for the project. Hope you're doing well, senor. Though I have to assume Insomnia isn't ever good. We're making explosions coming out of cockpits. Inflating stuff here. I'm wondering if I should actually have like fingery flames coming up out of this thing too. Like, could we? I can't tell if I got it or not. I don't have the light on. This mosquito's a problem. Alright, what if we just like start really inflating this? I actually, you know what? I think the problem is we're gonna need a Boolean. Nope. Goddamn mosquito. Oh, I got his ass. Y'all ain't gonna be able to see that at all. Yeah, there you go. You can see the wings. I got that motherfucker. Got his ass. I got that fucker that wants my blood. And now he's dead. Alright, let's make her a nice knobbly little smoky crap here. I think here in a second what we need to do is go back to we need to go back to our X-ray view and start double checking what we have going on here, because I need the fire to start wrapping around some of the geometry. Boom, bam. Shoop-de-whoop-de. Alright. Okay, so let's drop a save state. Alright, we're gonna go to our like X-ray view here and see what we can see. It's really hard to see. I wonder if I have any like options for that. So now we want to push this in underneath that. There we go. I think we just need to do a little back and forth here. Is what's going on. Yeah. Let's get up under these edges and push it into and underneath our underlying geometry. Get it looking good. Not too bad. This is fairly intuitive to kind of figure out where the edges are. And I think we even like overdid it there. Yeah, we sure did. You come in here and do like that. Bam. And I think we're just gonna come around and start tracing these edges. Push you in, push you in. We're gonna start working this until we can reveal our underlying geometry again. We got these seams here where the armor has buckled, but it's also like kind of wet because this is supposed to be super hot. Super hot. After all, the jump jets are like vented. It's heat and reaction material, like vented directly out of the fusion engine, if I recall correctly. And let's push that up underneath there. Get in on this. Dude, this thing is gonna look awesome. And honestly, I think I've kind of half-assed set myself up for a really easy painting time on this too. Ooh, that's not looking good there. How do we go about pushing that in? We could do like this maybe. Just like bigger. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay. This is porn music, dude. What the heck? Let's get this up underneath right there. It really is. Who is this? Oh yeah, shake. Yeah. Lo-fi pornography. I don't know, that's a vibe. I can get down with that. I think Country Fried Minis is a little bit low-fly goonerism. Lo-fi? Lo-fi goonerism. Let's come in here. Let's inflate this. Shoop, dude. Let's inflate that. Boom. Oh, too much. Let's come out. There we go. Let's push this up under that lip again. There we go. I mean, it's starting to come along. It's a little knobbly, so we're gonna have to refine that some. And in fact, we can maybe do some of that now. Let's come in with our smoothing tool. Yeah, looky there. Smooth all that out. Fuck yeah. I'm gonna have a bunch of like little fingers of material shooting up out of this. That's smooth. Oh, that smooth did a lot of work there. Let's smooth out these boys. Boom, get that smooth in. Oh, that's a gnarly crease though. That's not nice. What's the solution here? I think maybe we could throw a clay strip over top of that and bring that up to the surface. And actually, you know, given what that just did, I think we can maybe like start giving a little like ripply texture to these things. Let's get like way in on it. Yeah, let's give some Ripley fire textured stuff to this. Bum, 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 bum. Boop, 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 boop. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Where are we sitting at? An hour and a half almost. Time sure flies when you're having fun. And I gotta admit, y'all, this has been really fucking fun. Really, really fun to work on. So, honestly, the stress of this deadline is really, it's really apparent. We got 8 days to get this thing done, and then I think if I don't film painting this thing, I'm an idiot. Really. It's kind of thinking about that. Too big, too big. Let's get way in there. You know, that's really not doing what we're taking it way back, all the way back. Boom, 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 boom. Get rid of all those clay strips. I think we're gonna have to create a separate device, if you will, for our flames coming up out of this thing. Yeah. Bam, bam. Yeah. In fact, let's pull it back. Let's pump the brakes for a second. Let's pump the brakes. Pumping the brakes. Pumping the brakes. Let's add ourselves a nice little cube. Let's get it over here. Let's get our dimensions about right. Let's shrink him down. Boom. Nice little thin little cube. All right. Actually, no. Let's back that up. Don't care about a cube. We don't want a cube. We want a plane. Let's add a plane. Let's get that plane in position over here. Get that plane in place. And we're going to come in and where'd my plane go? Where'd my dang old plane go? There you are, plane. We're going to pull this plane out. And we're going to get it sized about right first. So, get that going there. Come on, yarn balls. You got to work with me a little bit. And let's size our plane up. Let's size our plane about right. Yeah. Maybe a little extra, like that. We're going to reset our rotation. Pachow. I'm going to be heading out to the game store to pick up a couple paints soon. I want my attempt at orange to be smoother. I'll see if I can get a deeper, darker orange to act as a base coat. Yeah, you could do a brown too. The brown should give you a little bit more saturation. You start with a purple. You could pull a Mr. Comstar and start with a purple base coat as well. Build up the orange over top of that. I can't think of what the best orange would be though. Like orange is tough. I gotta admit, I do Grip Hound orange. I do white base coat and then contrast paint. All right, So now I think we're gonna take this bad boy and we're gonna subdivide this fucker. Boom, 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 boom. I want a ton of geometry on it. We're gonna select it again. We're gonna edge. We're gonna subdivide again. Oh, I forgot. This thing is a pain in the butt for some reason. So we're gonna subdivide, and then we're gonna subdivide. Select all. We're gonna subdivide. We're gonna select all again, and we're gonna subdivide. We're gonna fucking subdivide that boy again, and we're gonna subdivide that boy again. I want a fuck ton of geometry. I want an outrageous amount of geometry, even. Yeah, it seems to be a secret difficult. They just contract. Yeah, dude. Imperial Fist Yellow just immediately leveled up my experience with what you call it, with yellow. All right, our normals are inside out for that, so we're gonna mesh normals, recalculate outside, boom, bam, and we're gonna do that same thing we were kind of doing earlier. I actually need, computer Angie. Computer is Angie. All right. Let's grab this. We're going to go into sculpt mode. And we want to draw a crease sharp. And let's see if we can't actually get like, let's just use a reference material. Shattered glass. Image. A brother of mine was offering me some first wave contrast paint. He isn't using it. Might see if he had an orange. Yeah, I love the Griffhound orange. It's a little like kind of a dark brownish orange. I haven't tried any of the super bright stuff. Here we go. Open image in new tab. I'm going to steal this image. Save image as. Yes, computer, please. Computer, please. Images. Let's import a... Oh, wait, no. I need to... How do I do this? Object mode. We're going to add an image. Empty image. And then... No, that's not how we do it. I think we may actually just drag and drop it from the desktop in here. Oh, I almost forgot to do something. Hold on, I gotta do something. Hold on a second. You guys reminded me that I can't do this without hiding this inside the cockpit, right? Is that not the what we do around here, right? Shoosh. Let me get that hidden inside. Yeah. For those who know, you know what I mean. Let's get it correct rotation. Let's get it angled about right. There we go. Boom. Get that thing sequestered away inside. There we go. Now you know. Yes, this lives in the pit. It's the pit for the cock, you know? Yeah. You see what I mean? Fucking, it fits beautifully inside there. The fuck am I doing? I can't not put that in there. Where is my dang images.jpg? There it is. Boom. Alright, so... Is that really not import? No? Can I not import as... How the heck do I import the, Oop, computer is completely locked up. Mesh plane, there it is. That's how you do it. Desktop, we want images.jpg. Image.jpg. Boom. There we fucking go. Shoop-de whoop-de. I want to get this in position so we can actually see what the heck we're doing. And then I think we want this 0 and 0 on our rotation. And then... That didn't work. That didn't work at all. I maybe need to save this as a PNG. Oh, it's a JFIF. What the fuck is a JFIF? That's silly. Glass dot PNG. Glass.png. Let's fix this. What the hell is a JFIF? JFIF? JFIF. What is a JFIF? What is a JFIF? What is JFIF for? JPEG file interchange format. Is it the original? Is JPEG originally a JFIF? JFIF. That's so weird. Bizarre. Interesting. Oh, that yawn was a good sign, y'all. That means I can probably pass out at some point. Alright, let's do our mesh plane image again. What did we call that? It was glass. GLASS.png. Boom, blam. And we're gonna pull this up here. We're gonna set our rotation to 0 and 0. And then we should get this nice, like, reference material here. Oh, it's still a fucking empty plane, though. Do we have to come in here and do that? We do. Ah, that's fine, though. This is fine. This is fine. This is shitting. We're gonna make this real big. And I think our intention here now is to come in here, get this thing like where we want it, kind of set to about the same size as right there. We can hide all this. Boom, hide, 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 hide. Let's look at this from the bottom. We're gonna shrink this thing down to about the same size as our plane. And we're just gonna trace it. We're gonna use our glass as a reference, and we're gonna go into sculpt mode, and we're gonna trace over all those cracks. Come on, computer. Please react. There we go. Make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Pop to the top. All right. And we want our plane, and what we'll do is we're going to cut into sculpt mode. And we want a crease sharp, and then our size will be like, I don't know, like 25. And we're just gonna, trace these. Let's see what that looks like with one pass. Interesting. I think we maybe need to increase the maybe need to increase the strength of it. Let's try strength 1. And let's see what this looks like. We just boom, boom. All right, we're starting from the top right. Hide. That's acceptable. That's acceptable. We'll work with it. All right, let's go back to this, and we're going to go into sculpt mode, and we're just going to continue going around the radial pieces first, because I can't see what the fuck I'm doing. And we're just going to trace all our lines here. Boom, boom, boom. Instead of freeforming this thing, we're just going to follow a real crack pattern. Bam. Boom. 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 And then we want this one right here. Alright, so now we're going to start... I already used that orange contrast. I slapped contrast paint on a crap load of Alpha Strike plastics. My first painted B2. Dude, that, you know, honestly, if you revisited some of your like old work again, that could be super cool. All right, I'm gonna scroll in 2 clicks so we get a sharper line in between these, and I'm gonna start tracing out. We've started with this piece right here, so don't let me forget, y'all. Don't let me forget that I started right here. Boom, 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 boom. And this guy gets right here, and then we're gonna go chow, pa-chow, chow, pa-chow. We're going around right here, bam, bam, boom, up to there, and then we're gonna do that, and we're gonna go ra-chow. Do a little bit right there, and there, and then there, and there, and there. Continuing on. Bam, boom, bam. Pa-chow, pa-chow. On around. And then I really should check my work at this point, but too late now. This is where we live. Pa-chow, pa-chow. Oh, next time I want orange, I'll go for white base, contrast orange, and the control slayer orange, and see if that helps the process. It's not a terrible idea. I've got a my 10-minute Moriarty video has a section in it where I use contrast as the base tone for some bright orange. I don't know if that would be useful to you, but you could dig up that segment. Potentially. I should really do some more like colors, basic colors segments, tough colors like fucking yellows and oranges, like a dang old Goobertown Hobby style video, maybe exploring the science of buttholes. Wait, what are we talking about? I'm feeling the delirium, which is good. Alright, let's see if that worked. Back to object mode. We're gonna go back to regular view. Let's hide this boy. Oh, look at that. Look at that beautiful work. All right, so let's come in here. We're gonna clean up the let's clean up our creases. This here needs like a bow, and then we gotta join a few of these spots. Yeah, dude, I can't believe how well that worked. Shoop-de-whoop-de. Let's do that, and that, and that, and that, and that. And then, there's definitely going to be something to getting this to break apart how we want it to. But I think we can make it happen. Now these spots where we've gone over the lines, we can just like shoop like that. The idea here is we're gonna just remesh this anyways. Bam, bam, get that a-going. Bam, bam, bam. Chow, chow. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. That looks pretty decent. And now we have this starting point for broken glass. Now, how do we segment this thing and get it looking like, what do we call this? Z Direwolf. Okay, so now what I want to try to do with this is create some nice seams. What is going to be the way to make this happen? I think what we do is we get this thing locked into place. Like so. Let's rename this actually. Let's call this Master Cracked Glass. Boom. Let's duplicate that with Shift D and we'll get rid of this one and we'll call this one Large Cockpit Glass. Alright. Now, I think what we can do here is like kind of get this thing in position. And then I need to like select through it and do like bendy bits, if that makes any sense. But keep it all whole. Okay, let's pull this back out here. Let's come in here and we're still gonna keep tracing here, but we can like, that's shit. I'm not gonna be able to see shit. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to see a fucking thing here. Let's deselect. I think what we gotta do now is maybe do a retopology on it. So let's try to remesh it first. Let's generate a remesh. What's our sharp look like? That's pretty good. That is pretty good. That's pretty fucking good there, actually. And I think we can work with that. What does 8 look like? Let's go one more tier. Yeah, let's do that. God damn it, I clicked the wrong fucking thing. Remesh, sharp, depth 8. Right? Bam. Let's apply that bad boy. And I think, in theory now, we should have enough geometry that we can just go to edit mode. Oh, no, it didn't. Son of a bitch. That didn't help at all. What about voxels? Let's try voxels at 0.05. Let's try 0.02. Let's try 0.01. I think the problem is it's still gonna be like a fuck ton of, yeah, dang it. Alright, I may need to actually just... Man, is there no way to like reduce our... That's really disappointing. Computer's locked up again. This project's been locking up a lot. We may actually need to come in here and just build snap cursor to selected. We may actually just need to come in here and add planes to this. Yeah, I think we actually are just going to have to manually adjust our... Where's my tweak tool? Tweak. I think we're just going to have to like use these. Is there not an easy way to add a subdivision? Let's see, is there a quick way? Is there a quick way to add vertexes to planes in Blender? I said vertexes? Blender. Let's see, if I control P? No, control P. Nope. Edit mode, face select, select the face of your plane. I think maybe we just gotta subdivide this bad boy. That's what we'll do. Select all. Let's subdivide this thing. Why is the subdivision like so broken? Edge, subdivide once. Select all. Select all. No, I didn't want to link anything. Select all, edge, subdivide. That's probably enough right there. Alright, and now if we use our tweak tool, we should, in theory, now be able to... Yeah. Let's come in here and just, like, create our shape. Using what we have here. Bam. 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 And then we can come in here and we can select lasso. Didn't even need as many edges as I thought we would. Okay, we're just gonna end up using this as a guide. Then, like that, bam. Okay. Edit mode, object mode. Now we're gonna duplicate this thing. Yeah, there we go. Damn, this is... Can we do this in edit mode if I just duplicate that? Yeah. Let's do it that way. And then I think the idea here is once we have all these set up, we'll increase the depth of them. And then what we can do is bend all the loose parts. Yep. Let's do that, and then up to there, and then boom, boom, boom. Shift D, duplicate. Rotate this bad boy. I guess we don't need to rotate. Alright, this is complicado, but it is what it is. We're gonna make this thing work. I guess the idea here is we'll have a whole bunch of glass pieces that we can then how do I do this? Boom, Alt, click, Shift, Alt. Duplicate. Same deal here. Bam, we're just gonna rebuild all of these, and the work we're doing here will let us create some segmentation later. And actually, let's dissolve X, dissolve edges. No. Delete edges. Damn, that's fucking lame. Can I not just dissolve that? Dissolve edges. There we go. Dissolve edges. Is it really gonna do me like that? Dissolve edges. Yeah, it really is. Damn. What ifs? Anyhow, we'll get this set up. We'll have a bunch of little bits of glass to play with. Nice little shards that we can add to our explosions, kind of riding the edge of it. Duplicate. Bam. Shame there's not like a more intuitive way to do this. I'm sure there's a way to make these pieces and then bend it within the limitations, but that escapes me for now. So in the meantime, we're just gonna go this way. Dun, dun, dun. The hell is this geometry? Weird ass shit happening with the geometry here. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that and that. And then we can just add a base there. Yeah, there we go. Bam, bam. Let's duplicate that and get this in position. Zoop-de-whoop-de. I think the idea here is just to make a really interesting looking explodey cockpit bit. I think we need a subdivision here. Edge subdivide. Nope. Bam. Single tweak. There we go. Maybe actually need to do a little rebuilding of this. Holy shit, 2 more hours spent on sculpting. Can't believe it. Let's add, we're gonna add a plane to this. There we go. And I think the idea is to just subdivide these edges and turn this into an N-gon. I don't mind an N-gon. I just really don't want all those extra pesky lines that we've been dealing with. There we go, there we go. Boom, 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 bam. Let's get this thing in position over here. And actually, if we set that over the, yeah, there we go. We can duplicate off of this now. Back to the tweak tool. Chow. And now, if we need any more, geometry, we can just add it without having this, all these extra lines in between. Alright, so now we want all of this, boom, duplicate. And we're gonna build this shape now. Bam, bam, boom. Chow and pa-chow and pa-chow. Pa-chow and pa-chow, yeah. Duplicate. Let's get the same thing going on right now. And now we could even take this guy and merge it in there. Merge at last. Sick. Duplicate this, same deal. Bam. Build this glass shape. And then once we have all this set up, what we can do is then extrude the back end of this and turn them into like enough thickness to actually be some glass. And it'll all get included in the remesh, basically. And in fact, this one can just like, we'll merge that right here. Ow. Duplicate. So here also, because we're working in edit mode, every time I duplicate that object, we're adding it to the mesh rather than adding a new object. Just super convenient. Now I kind of want to get rid of these extra fucking lines, dude. Dissolve edge. But like, can I not merge these faces? Fuck it, we're gonna remake these few shapes over here. I want to get these cross lines are like a huge problem. Or at least they're gonna create a problem later, so it's gonna be better to correct that now. I think at least. Let's get rid of, yeah, see, it's doing like weird shit here. Let's just get rid of all this. Boom. Anything with the dang, anything with all these lines, let's boom, get rid of those. Let's swap to our lasso. Get rid of all of you, And then get rid of these, boom, and this loose vertex right there. Back to tweak tool, let's select this, duplicate. Get this boy in position, and start tweaking everything around. Pa-chow, 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 pa-chow. Nope, I need to stay in the view properly. Nice farty scent there. Get this one going on. Actually get some nice big chunks in here too, thanks to our rebuild. Boom. And now we can just use this last one. All right. So in theory now, we could turn this into like a shattered glass, like master. Shit, I keep rotating the camera. All right, so we got glass now. We got these shards, and now we'll call this thing shattered glass master pieces. Okay, hide large cockpit glass. So we got this shape here. So now we can select all and we can extrude it out just a little bit. Bam, like that. And again, we want to select all and we want to recalculate our outside, get our normals correct. And see, we got all these like these individual broken pieces that we can get in position. Computer is angry. Let's drop a save. Let's set our origin to geometry. Where are we sitting at? 2 hours. Holy shit. I've done 3 hours of sculpting today total, and we are nowhere near like actually producing this as a model. Well, I say that, but once we're done with the cockpit, I think we're pretty much there. So it is actually kind of near there. Alright, so let's get our cockpit in position here. Shrink it down a little bit, like that. Boom. Alright, and now I actually should duplicate that. I should have duplicated that to begin with. So we're gonna hide that and we're gonna call this one Big Window Shattered Chunks. Okay, now we should be able to take this, select all, and P separate by loose parts. Yep, there it is. Yep. And we can now start like moving these individual bits around. And get this like really customized fucking explosion force setup going on, but it is still like computer's locked up trying to go into edit mode. Yeah, I get it, you're locked up, you're a bad computer with anginess. Okay, so we're gonna create some new faces. So we want to face there. We want to face here, or vertices, I should say. Not vertices, line. I can't even. Computer be angy. It really is, Mr. Square Peg. Alright, so now the idea is we come in here and do that. And then these guys right here need a subdivision, edge subdivide. And we can grab this subdivision here, ching, and like actually get this looking like it fits in that corner, you see? Yeah. Back to object mode. Let's go out of 3D. Yeah, and in theory, I can definitely get these things looking all right. So the idea is we'll have this glass like blowing out, and then fire coming out from inside that cockpit. You know? And I think it'll look really awesome. In fact, let's get some of this like really extreme, like that even. Chow. Computer's locked up again. Fucking ridiculous file, dude. I think it may be a combination of the amount of geometry and like the file size, as it does like auto saves. Drop a real save. Holy moly. But origin to geometry. Let's get a nice little rotation here. Let's get this one like sticking way out like that. Boom. And we know that these pieces kind of half-ass fit together, which is super dank. Pachow. Set origin to geometry. Yes. Ho ho. This one's gonna stick way out. Dude, what if I put a little tiny burning Kerensky in there? Not for painting purposes, of course, but just for our purposes. So we know that she's actually in there burning. Set origin to geometry. Let's make this one sticking way out. Let's give it a little yaw there. Pachow. This one actually should probably like be a little bit more like that. Alright. Next will be this one, origin to geometry. Let's get that angled correctly. Let's rotate it outwards. Let's roll it a little bit. Let's bring it down. Computer's locked up. Once again. You gonna react? Yeah. Thanks, computer. You're a real pal. Alright, there we go. I mean, I think that's fine-ish. I actually want to get rid of some of these pieces, I think, and we're going to replace that here. It doesn't really fit like a puzzle piece, but that will be enough to kind of sell the illusion of what we're doing here. Yeah, like that. Really bend this one out. It just hit me. These could maybe even like be okay to overlap a little bit. If anything, I think it will help their printability if they overlap some. Still trucking IE? Yeah, man. I'm fading, so hopefully I'll be able to pass out in the next half hour or so. But here, let me reveal these things for you. What do we have? What was it called? It is called the Explosion. We got the Explosion, we got the jets going in here, jet bottom and top. So this is gonna have a lot more fingers of flame sticking up out of it as we sculpt it. We're gonna have this exploding glass coming out of it. So like, boom. This here actually then needs, let's come in here with our clay tool negative, and see, we can like, let's go 55 pixels. Nope, we actually want that 115. And push this down underneath the glass again, right here. Boom, like that. A little bit of sculpting action. Have the glass all shattering out and the fucking flames jetting out. Oh, and this for you, Mr. Nathan. Check this out. Deep inside our cockpit. Oh, everything's locked up. Come on, computer. Deep inside the cockpit is a fucking hyper-realistic dong inside the cockpit. Because why wouldn't I put a penis inside there? Why wouldn't I? Where's my... You see it's hidden inside there. Here, I guess, let me pop open all of this stuff, right? We'll do... What are you looking for? Walking 2 and 3. Torso. We want our torso. We want that. Rocks main. Yep, that's correct. Join a rocks. Boom, boom, bam. Right arm, pelvis, leg, left arm, left leg. Jet top and bottom. We haven't quite gotten there yet, but we've got accurate damage to the book. We've got accurate damage to the artwork here, which is accurate to the book. The arm was sheared off at the shoulder. The leg was mangled. So we got that there. We got the mangled arm. What the fuck happened? There we go. We got the jets coming out. We got the damaged LBX and the completely ruined PPC. I need one more little bit of damage there, but this thing should be going to paint in the next 5 days-ish. And then we're going to do a lot of work with OSL, so it should be pretty quick. And then I'll film it, I guess. And actually with that, I feel the tiredness coming over me, and I think I have worked through the insomnia. So we're going to put a peg in this, put a pin in this for next time. Still got a lot of sculpting to do. This is going to be evidently, what do I call that? Z damaged head. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of work, but this is kind of the focal point of the piece, so we really need to put the time into it. I want this smoke a little more controlled and like fingery shots of fire sticking out of it. Same kind of velocity as these jets here. It's gonna be awesome. And then we'll paint this bad boy up. So, thanks to the community members who popped by to see what I'm doing this late at night. It's Insomnia. And any of y'all who caught this via the algorithm after the fact, if you're interested in the sculpting stuff, you know, watch for the shorts, come join the community, link in the description down below. We got something going on. Content is definitely suffering a little bit right now because the whole I'm working. In fact, I got these tanks that were supposed to be done today, and they're not done. So they're gonna go out Tuesday instead, which puts me yet another day behind. So we'll blast through those. And Tuesday night is supposed to be the MechWarrior 5 stream. We may have to pause that for me to get work done, unfortunately. But if we do, we'll be right back on it the next week after. So, anyhow, just a reminder to any of y'all out there suffering with insomnia that if you have insomnia, sometimes just doing a little work and expelling that energy is the way to do it. Without further ado, I've been Cameron, your host of Country Fried Minis, and I'm tired and gonna actually go to bed. So, with that, I'm gonna hit this thing over here. You know what? I was just gonna hang up on you, but I'll actually do a this thing. Lots of love. You have a good fucking night, y'all. Or day, or whenever you're catching this, whatever time it is for you. Do the hobby. Do the hobby and share. Share with your friends. We want to see what you're doing, but your friends would too. Do the hobby.